So with that, we've got 3 minutes left. I'm going to go to key takeaways. And Jan, I'm going to start with you and then Nicole and more, and I'll chime in with my 2 cents. What are your key takeaways?
Well, I think the nature of the rule that we're all going to be having to comply with, really take that to heart in terms of how is the approach that we're taking. And Barbara, you brought this forward, the strategy element, integrating that with the risk management lens, and really taking to heart this time that we have in front of us to get our ducks in a row, understand our data, and really thoughtfully and proactively make those decisions with your management team and have that really rigorous conversation with the board.
Thank you. Nicole?
My takeaway is just continue to prepare, continue to work on your gap assessments, continue to think about not only do you have the information, but do you feel like the information is really, reliable investor grade information, because it's getting that level of attention, in or outside of the SEC rule. So just making sure that that's a focus for the company going forward.
Great, thank you. And Maura?
I think you've said it multiple times, Barbara. This is about long-term considerations. When I started in this space, we talked about sustainability with the goal of how can we make business sustainable over the long term. And I think we are finally starting to shift that conversation more. I can't tell you the number of controllers I still talk to that give me pushback and say, our analysts aren't asking us questions about ESG, therefore investors don't want this information. And I think, there's still a bit of this sort of push and pull, but I think the more that we can talk about the fact that there are real risks that are going to impact our businesses that we need to be planning for today, even though they might not manifest for another 10, 20, or 30 years, that's the whole purpose of this compliance exercise, which then brings it back around to what are our strategies of today to make us be able to be a valuable company, 10 years from now.
Yeah, and I agree with everything that's been said. I think, also understand as a board member the messaging the company has around this whole area. And if you can't understand it, your investors won't either. It's not just about the compliance. Compliance is critical. Compliance can get you into trouble if it's not done right. But just step back from it and really ask the questions and understand the messaging. And then make sure, that you ask the questions around, are the people, process, and technology in place for us to actually to be able to comply? Even the timeline is a bit extended, it'll go quickly. And plus you have, EU and you have California and others. So anyway, I wanted to say how pleased I am to have spent time with the three of you. Thank you so much for all your wisdom, and thank you for all that have joined.